This Nationals is quite interesting because Val Monica had a top 32 showing for it. If you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss on more Oz content. Now, most of this breakdown came from Lampy, and Lampy does a fantastic job covering their event coverage out of most of the European region. So shout out to them. Leave a link down below so you guys can check out Lampy. Now, your breakdown for this event. We had 4 Snake Eyes. You know, that feels a little bit low in terms of, you know, the pure Snake Eyes development. Technically, there's 5 because there is a Fire King build present in this top cut, so it wasn't quite the dominating force that you're kind of expecting to see out here in a lot of these turnarounds for these events. Now, we had 3 Tenpai dragons in the top cut. Considering the fact we've had in a lot of these regions, Tenpai and Snake Eyes have been the titans battling it out. I'm not all that shocked to see, you know, a little bit, I guess, of a quieter meta for once. Now, we also had 2 branded, nothing really shocking there. Now, your one-ofs here. We already talked about the Fire King Snake Eyes. We did have a Manadome Centurion build. Now, process that for a second. That's right. We're using these 2 engines essentially in combination with each other. Actually, the Manadome, the Centurion package in the build isn't even like that flushed out. It's kind of there to help facilitate combo. We also had Rescue Ace, Horus. Oh boy, you know, I'm loving the fact that this Horus stun deck has been getting as much mileage as it actually has out here. People are kind of starting to actually respect the deck a little bit more, and I mean, its control options are nothing to really joke at. We also had a Chimera Illusion pile. That deck still shows up every once in a while as a rogue contender. No real shocker there. We also had Tear Elements. Not also shocked to see that. And then, I think the biggest interesting thing out of this top 16 was we had a Sword Soul Duelist. Old Reliable, still added out here. Also, we'll be talking about the Val Monica top 32 list a little bit later. Let's pass on over to deck list. All right, so our first list here is actually going to be Manadome with a Centurion package. And we can truly call this a Centurion package because you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 cards built into the main deck to support this. I kid you not. This is not the first time I've actually seen this, though. Over the last week and a half, we've been seeing more and more OCG builds kind of testing out the idea of, you know, what if we splash stand-up Centurion in a deck with, you know, the Gargoyle and packages like this? Though I've seen Emmet being one of the choices besides Gargoyle. I do think the Gargoyle is a little bit better of an option here. You know, this whole package just facilitates the ability to toggle on into, you know, you literally hit the Oxwilla and you turbo on into the Crimson Dragon, all for, what, like a 1.5 card combo? Literally field spell plus discard gets you to what you need to do. And that doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things because the rest of your deck, the whole thing that makes the Manadome combo actually very scary is the fact that it's all 1 card combo down here. And the deck does a fantastic job at toggling through these option trees to generate massive advantage. Also, since we are playing Mr. Crimson Dragon, you get access to Sprinkle Rumbo down here. Yes, Sprinkle Rumble. Which free Monster Reborn for the deck is always going to be good. So for this 5-card dedicated package you have built into this deck, you basically kind of get to cruise control the deck in pretty much the same way that we've been playing. You do see the droplets built into the main deck here, so you can have that control option to, you know, make sure you can play the game. And I do see we have Yield, Dark Holes, and Raigekis down here. This is actually, they went very hard into the side decking to, you know, control the opponent side of things. I mean, hey, don't underestimate good old board wipes out here. Most of the time, people don't have outs to these, so if you slam one of these downs, you can re-engineer into full combo and maybe slam down a Calamity Lock on your opponent after you've cleared their field, which should ensure you the win. All right, good stuff. Tenpai Senpai, the most generic deck build in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. This build is splashing in 2 Fenrirs, which I'm okay with. You do see the Ray Sloth in here. Which is very interesting is there's no set rotation in here. I don't have a problem with that. It's just typically you see with the additional field spell out here that you're trying to play this out. Also, the fact that Fenrir kind of puts that pressure gas on your opponent so you can win the game is good. You also do see the Rivalry of the Warlords in here, also doing its thing, and we're side decking the cross-out designators. Wow. We've really come full circle. They don't need D-barriers. They don't need nothing down here. You have crows, you have bells, you have the buy steals, everything that I guess that you are worried about needing to have. you have access to. Also, we are playing the Koi Belt, Trident Dragion, none of the Samurai Destroyer BS. Huh. I suppose that's very interesting to see. Okay. Oh boy, Snake Eyes. Talk about another generic build out here. I see that we are playing the triple crossout designator. Nothing wrong with this. Most of these builds do kind of have to rely on the crossout, or as you say, oops, all lost. Nothing you can really do about getting, triple hand trapped out of your mind. Very interesting to see Nibiru here actually being a very strong case for the meta here. I'll see side decking, we have the Drolls down here, we have the Dimensional Barriers, and we have the Skill Drain. The fact that this deck has been able to side Skill Drain for a lot of this format and get away with it is, I think, one of the more funny things about this meta. We look at Skill Drain, we're like, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but this has been pretty straightforward for what you need to be seeing right now in the course of the meta. Outside of that, 42 cards I think is fine. You have plenty of hand trap options in this deck to make sure that you can get to where you need to be. Okay, I like some generic meta. Oh, hey! Rescue Ace! Holy crap! Something different! Well, this is really different. We're playing a Regulus in here. Well, to be fair, pretty much all your machine friends here, you can step up on their corpses and get the free negate. That's pretty good. I also see that we have the triple econ in here and triple droplet, but triple econ. The fact that, being able to tribute one of your Rescue Ace cards, take care of a threat, bring it on over your field, link out with it, is always going to be pretty good. It's a very good double-sided defensive option and offensive option for a deck like this. We're also citing the Reinforce. Okay, I like this. This is good. Wow. Yep, there's the Merrymaker. Okay, so basically you just turbo the Merrymaker into the Sargass, which gets you into the Regulus, which kind of starts netting you a lot of the advantage tree that you want to be seeing for this card. As you start to snowball the advantage. That's like the big thing here is like 2 Rescue Ace monsters for the level 4 side of things. Mission accomplished. We have Regulus. Alright. Oh wow, we have our Sword Soul deck here. Now talk about, very generic out here. One of the things that has allowed this deck to kind of sit on top of the throne right now has got to be Protoss. As much as, you look at Sword Soul, you're like, oh, it's so good, it's so old reliable. Like, the deck can do so much. The reason why you are even able to look at a lot of these matchups in the eyes is because Protoss is a card. You have to rely on this card in order to clear up certain matchups. And good news is, you have built-in fire monsters that you can pop. You have pretty much everything that you need for a majority of your matchups to kind of find an out to the attribute that's going to be a pain in your butt. And it's also, because you can call fire, you can blink out Tenpai, you can also stop, the Snake Eyes builds from doing what they need to do. That's actually good. I also see down here that this build is actually taking advantage of Psychic End Punisher. I have not seen a lot of people trying this out in quite a while. I like the idea of being able to have the Psychic End Punisher back in the game. Especially, when you need to steal a game and your opponent looks at the card and they're like, what do I need to do about that? Well, it's a very huge monster who's meant to threaten your opponent. I also see that we do have the Typhoon in here as well. Typhoon has been moving into these decks a lot as of late. It's actually pretty crazy just to see how much we've needed to rely on Typhoon to kind of clean up some of these threats. You got to play around being synchro locked, and that's not an issue, I think, or being worm locked. Easy peasy. And our last list here is Val Monica. I actually, crap you not, this deck managed to make top 32 out here. Now, one of the biggest things I'll say about this list is a lot of people are going to look at this and are going to have no idea how this deck actually works. Hi. One of the big things about this deck is this level 4 monster right here kind of helped everything that the deck actually needed to have. It puts a body on the field and gives you search options, which is really, really good. And it also recurs itself back for future usage as well. I also do see, because, we are doing some level 4 shenanigans here, Gallant Granite can actually toggle us on into a Nibiru, so we will have a defensive option. You are playing one of each of the trap cards, which is fine. You do see one copy of the Varse here, which I think is fine. Most of these ratios for this deck feel very optimized, and I like that. I like that this deck looks like it's going to get the job done, and that's what you want to see. Actually, good shit, man. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event? Please leave a comment down below on what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace. Patrons! Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.